diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and today I have with me Sebastian Gutierrez, who's an offensive lineman out of Minot State. How's it going, bud?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. Why don't you go ahead and just give me a brief history of your overall career?
So I came out of Pasco Senior High School in Pasco, Washington. I was recruited to Minot by Coach Shane Ledecky to play tight end at Minot State. So going into Minot State, I redshirted my first year, 2016. I ended up playing as a redshirt freshman. The very next year, I started 9 games for Minot State. After that, I made the transition to right tackle. I was kind of persuaded by Coach Nick Nissen over at Minot State, which is now my position coach. And I've been playing right tackle for the past 2 years, and I'll continue playing tackle this upcoming season.
Cool. So what does that take to move from like tight end to right tackle? Like a few more stakes or something? Like is that kind of how it works?
It definitely took a lot. I came in to Minot weighing about 200 pounds.
Wow.
And then, made that transition very, very slowly. But I got there. And now I'm, currently 300 pounds, 6'6",
So you're telling me that over the course of 4 years, you've gained 100 pounds?
Yes, sir.
That's amazing. Like if I did that, like I would probably just have a coronary and just die.
Yeah, it was a process for sure.
Cool. What do you believe is like one of your best attributes as a player?
My athleticism on the field, just from my history at tight end and receiver, I was able to carry over a lot of the footwork, the athleticism, not necessarily the lineman footwork, but just getting your feet in the ground, being an athlete. I'd say, pretty much just athleticism. Being able to complete reach blocks and backside overtake blocks, just by having quick feet, having quick twitch muscles. Just really a lot of that carrying over. That's really my strength as an offensive lineman there.
So Sebastian, I'm sitting here thinking about you, really in just all of your history, being a tight end
Yep.
there for a couple of years, and being a right tackle. Have you thought about? I know this might sound like a crazy question, but have you thought about maybe going back to the tight end position? Like, has that kind of crossed your mind at all?
Oh, it always crosses my mind. Just having the ball in your hands and being able to make a move or whatever, or just doing something like that. But if at any time it presented itself, I wouldn't be opposed to it. But as of now, I am a offensive tackle at Minot State and will continue to play offensive tackle.
Right on. Well, I think everybody's like, who doesn't want to score a touchdown?
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Why not? So hey, man, talk to me about this off season. Obviously, you guys aren't playing right now, which is unfortunate. But tell me maybe how you felt like hearing that news that you guys had to, cancel your games this season.
Yeah, they just, hearing that news, I just felt like I get another year, right? I get another year to master my craft, be a better athlete, and being already late to the table, kind of being a transition to a tackle. This is only going to help me get better. It's only going to give me more time to be the best possible I can be at that position, for sure.
And I guess really just to follow up with that question, have you taken this time to really better maybe one particular area of your game?
Yeah, so I just looking at film from last year, I definitely needed to get out of my stance quicker. I need to be more quick twitch on getting on a pass set. So I've been definitely focusing on that a lot, being explosive, and not just in the pass, in the run as well. Just overall explosiveness is one area I needed to improve on, as well as my technique for run and pass game, for pass, keeping my head out on my punches, keeping a good base in the ground. Same with the run game, having a good base, having correct footwork. I've really been just all around working on my craft for sure.
Gotcha. So you were talking about really just studying yourself and trying to, just correct maybe some of the weaknesses that you have.
Mhm.
I just kind of wanted to dive into that just a little bit more with regard to you in the film room. I mean, that has obviously changed over the years from obviously high school to really sitting in the room with the tight ends and receivers to
Mhm.
now with the offensive line. Can you, maybe walk me through that journey of yours in the film room, and maybe how do you break down film now? Like again, it's kind
Yeah.
of a crazy thing to ask. So fill
Yeah,
me
that's
in if you don't mind.
so first, starting out, film wasn't really taken super seriously in high school, I guess. I really didn't learn any good habits on how to watch film or analyze, break down film. As soon as I got to college, I was very raw, like all over, film on the field, everything. But I learned and adapted. And at this point in my career, I know exactly what to look for. For example, when I study, I'm looking at my matchups. I'm looking at what moves they're going to use, what their go-to is, if they're going to, ice pick or spin out of a pass pro. If I get to, like, if I, run them too deep, um, I'm looking at what the defense is coming out in. I'm noticing how the D line is going to slant. I'm noticing if, safeties are walked down and corners are pressed. Am I expecting a blitz from the boundary or the field side? Like, all that stuff is going through my head now, just based on watching film and, just looking over defenses now. So I definitely think I've grown in the past 4 years as far as my football IQ, for sure.
Well, and during your time there in the film room, has there been maybe a particular team or player that you feel like you've studied the most there that maybe you either gained some respect for? I mean, talk to
Yep.
me maybe about some of the best opponents that you've had.
So for sure, Chris Garrett from Concordia St. Paul. That was the biggest matchup I had to prepare for. Coming in, I knew they were going to try and have their way with us, and us as an O-line unit kind of took it upon ourselves just to get in the film room and really analyze and break down what they were doing and what their tendencies were. And that game went well for us. Obviously, I still have a lot of respect for Chris and everybody. But that was definitely one of the greatest matchups I've had to go against as a college athlete, for sure.
Cool. So walk me through your game day. When you're, I guess, preparing for your game that day, I don't know, is there something you need to do in order to psych yourself up? I mean, do you have any ritualistic thing you got to do to get prepared?
Mhm. So last season, I about halfway through the season, I started to change my way of preparing for a game. I started to do a little meditation um, before a game. So I don't necessarily think you need to hype yourself up. You kind of want to stay even keel the entire time. I want to. I literally just use that to do positive self-talk, visualization of what my objectives are in the game. I visualize myself taking good sets, making a good block, having perfect technique, just kind of getting myself mentally prepared for the game ahead. In the game, it really, it doesn't necessarily go like that the entire time. But if you just put yourself in the mindset, you're going to have a great game, you're going to do everything right, you're going to be better more times than not, for sure.
Cool. Yeah, definitely agree with you on that.
Yep.
So Sebastian, I have in my notes that, going back a few years, you in high school,
Mhm.
you practically played any sport that you could possibly, get your hands
Yep.
into. Basketball, golf, baseball, track. I mean, heck,
Mhm.
if there was water polo, you probably would have done that. So, I mean, uh, walk me through some of those experiences of you playing other sports and maybe how they have helped you as a football
Mhm.
player.
Yeah. So, first I'll start off with basketball. I've always had a passion for playing basketball. Played it since I was a little kid. I was fairly decent at basketball. I was the center there on the team, and it definitely taught me, or I definitely had gained a lot of athleticism from playing basketball over the years, as far as like being explosive, jumping, just all that kind of stuff. Golf really teaches you, like if anybody's ever played golf, they know the mental aspect is insane about golf. Like if you are on hole one and you shank the ball like straight off the fairway into the rough, how are you going to respond from that? How is that, or how are you going to play the other 17 holes, with a better mindset? So I'd say golf definitely helped me in my mental game. And then as far as track goes, just overall athleticism, you got, like I was a sprinter and a hurdler my senior year doing track. So the overall athleticism, that teaches you good competition. Like it's more of like a self sport than a team sport, because you're almost just competing for yourself in that instance. But it definitely teaches you good competition, healthy competition, and just wanting to be faster and beat the guy next to you, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking about golf. I mean, I think you're the first guy that I've talked to that has, that background. I mean, when I think about golf, I think of like Happy Gilmore and stuff, and just kind of taking your anger out on the ball. But obviously, that's not how you're supposed to play.
Right.
Hey, man, let's kind of, just talk about who you are like outside of sports.
Yep.
Actually, I know that your major has a little bit to do with some sports. I mean, you actually have already graduated,
Yep.
and you're also working on your master's. So, tell me about your experience there as a student at Minot State.
So my experience as a student has been great at Minot State. Overall, like I've enjoyed, the teachers there, or the professors. I mean, the course I went through. So the corporate fitness and wellness management degree I got. I've met a lot of good people. It's really made me focus on what I want to do after football, and then that's why I continued on to pursue my master's by doing sports management. I kind of just want to be able to work with athletes in the future, and the experience at Minot State has really opened my eyes and made me clear on what I want to do in the future.
Cool. And I mean, is there anything else about you, like as a person, any other, passions or interests in life that you want to, let the world know with this interview?
I mean, I just enjoy playing sports. I mean, I really love sports. I don't think I could go without it. Love playing basketball on the side still. I enjoy playing video games, in the free time. So that's pretty much, all I do.
Cool. You were also telling me at one point that you're also part of the Diversity and Inclusion Council there at Minot
Inclusion.
State.
Yep. That just started up a couple of weeks ago. Yep.
Cool. So yeah, definitely, trying to, better the community there at Minot State, and good things, man. Hey, usually at this point in the interview, I try and give you the opportunity to just give a little bit of love to anybody and everybody that you possibly could think of. I mean, got to limit it a little bit because I don't want to make this a very long interview. But talk to me maybe about some of the leaders, coaches, guys that have helped get you to where you are today.
Yeah, for sure. So, I always thank my parents, my mom and dad, Dina and Florentino Gutierrez. They've always been there to support me, and, I wouldn't be where I am today without them, obviously. Like, just been such great parents to me. My brother, Nick, he's one of my favorite people, one of my biggest inspirations in this world. You know, he's just I look at him and I just, want to make myself do better, and just be a better brother, better athlete, just everything. Uh, and then my teammates. So, I've been close with, Troy Coal here for a while. He's one of my best friends in Minot. He's an offensive tackle as well here. You know, we have a lot of good times together. We play together. I mean, it's awesome. Like, he's such a good guy. And then, you know, past guys that I've that have been good friends is Parker Franzen. He played with me last year. You guys might know him. He was the right guard. I played alongside him for 2 years. Me and him got really close over the years. He's been a super good teammate and a really good friend. I'm still in contact with him today. And then as well, my first one of my first friends when I got to Minot was Devin Owens. He graduated. He's not in Minot anymore, but he was been a super big influence on me. Just as starting out as a tight end there, just teaching me, you know, he always told me like, hey, like, you know, whoever gets this spot, just go out there and show them why you earned it, you know, just go and play like, you know, like you earned it. And that's always kind of stuck with me. Coaches, Coach Nissen, super big inspiration, super good guy. I always know like he's right, you know, I always know he's right, whatever he says, because he's had experience at the offensive line. He's, you know, he's played at a high level. And so I take everything he says seriously and just do what he asks, and it pays off. As well, I want to thank Coach A. Coach A is one of the best coaches I've ever been around. He's a super understanding coach. He leads our team very well. You know, I don't talk to him a whole lot, but, you know, when I do talk to him, we always have great conversations. You know, we always have, you know, like, that's all I can say. It's good conversations, and, you know, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, good guy.
Gotcha. I mean, a lot of people, obviously, we could sit here forever and really give a lot of love to family,
Yeah, for sure.
friends,
There's so many
teammates.
people.
I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, tons of guys over the years that have really,
Yep.
you know, meant a whole lot. Hey, Sebastian, I try and ask this question to everybody, even though it is a little corny. It's really just the why question.
Mhm.
Tell me why you play football, maybe just a little bit of your motivation.
I play football because I love the sport. I've always loved the sport. I have a passion for it. Over the years, my why has changed. Um, you know, at first it was just like, football's fun, football's great, like, you just go hit somebody, whatever. And then now it's like, my why is I want to be the best player I can be at this position, at my position. You know, moving forward and, you know, later in my career, I want to be the best player I can be. And that's my why.
Cool. And very last thing for you is to give your pitch to a professional team.
Mhm.
What kind of teammate would they be getting if they took a chance on an outside, you know, alignment out of Minot State?
You're going to get a guy that's going to do whatever it takes to do whatever it takes for you. Like, if you take me, I'm going to um, learn my position the best I can. I'm going to master my craft. I'm going to do whatever is asked of me. And I'm not going to take no for an answer. I'm going to work as hard as I can and, you know, show you what I got. And I believe I have the ability to do whatever you ask of me.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, first and foremost, like when I think of you, I think of really just a very athletic guy. I mean, obviously, I mean, you have the size that I feel like a lot of people really like at your position. I mean, 6'6", you
Yep.
know, around 300 pounds or whatever.
Yep.
You know, obviously that's key. The other thing too is, I mean, again, just kind of getting back to that athleticism. Like, I know you can get at it in the weight room, but also, and you know, I know you can run very well. I mean, you were a former, you know, tight end and receiver.
Yes.
I know you could run under a 5-second 40, which I think is a great thing to add. So I don't know, even if people want to make that change again and just say, hey,
Yep.
man, let's put you out there as maybe like our third, you know, tackle, like in a goal line situation,
Yep.
and maybe give you that opportunity to score a touchdown again. I think that would be an awesome thing.
Yeah, wouldn't be opposed to it.
All right, Sebastian, it's been good chatting with you.
You too.
Again, this is Sebastian Gutierrez, offensive lineman out of Minot State. Best of luck to you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.